Hello, I am Eli G. Brown / Eli G. Brony, and here I have something that I've made, kind of to get ready for the Christmas holiday, which is not going to be here for another month, but I'm all ready for it. A lot of other people are all ready for it, so I'm just getting ready to just get things ready. And some of those things would include making some Christmas-colored MOCs to put up as decorations. This is the first one that I've done, though I've also made Chris Mass, a Hero Factory MOC that I made back in 2011. And a number of you may remember him. A couple of you have also made your own versions of him, though you had to make it differently because some of you did not like having to cut up visors and such, which I respect. The one that I used was from Pick-a-Brick, so it was a spare one. It did not come from a sealed set. It was a completely spare one. But why talk about Chris Max? That's not what this video is about. This is about this character right here. This is a Christmas edition to Akamai Nuva. Akamai is a Toa Kaita from the Bionicle series, who was the combination between Bohatu, Onua, and Tahu. And when the Toa Nuva sets came out, there was also a Toa Nuva version of him, which was a combiner between all the Toa Nuva versions of the 3 Toa that I have mentioned previously, but despite that, he never actually made any existence in the story after becoming a Toa Nuva. And now that Tahu has become a Toa Mata again during the Bionicle Stars series, he is unable to be formed. But nonetheless, I decided to make a Christmas-colored version of him. And this is him right here. Now, he's not completely identical to the original Akamai Nuva, and I don't mean just because of the color. What I mean by that would be, first off, the legs. I was really limited on the parts that I had to build this character. Couple ones that I will show you would be these parts right here. On the official Akamai Nuva Combiner set, you were supposed to use Toa Nuva leg pieces right here, and I was really limited on those. It did require me to do some swapping on some of my other models, including MOCs that I did of Hero Factory allies that weren't officially released as sets, but they were official characters to the story, which pretty much means I will have to kind of do some sort of upgrade to them to make them look a little better and also probably more closer to how they looked in the CGI animation. And besides, I did not want to actually make this be a complete replica of the character, because there were actually some things that I did not like about Akamai Nuva, for a couple of reasons. And I'll get to those, well, when I get to the arms, anyway. So I use these ones right here, the Toa Mata ones, and for these legs right here, the weapon also had a bit of issues, but I'll get to that in a while. The legs right here, originally these, what I believe were originally released with the Robo Rider sets that were released before Bionicle came out. And on the original Akamai Nuva model, they were the other way, but for some reason, because I used these pieces instead of the Toa Nuva leg pieces, the legs kind of moved down a bit because the Toa Nuva legs are slightly longer than the older ones, because they're both old. They are both over 10 years old, because it's 2013 now. So And I did try to put this up on the other way because I basically don't like how it looks right here, but putting it on the other way looked a lot worse. I thought it would look better, but it didn't. And one possible solution would probably use one of those tiny lift arm pieces, kind of for some sort of extension, but I just did not like how that looked. So I just had to deal with making them like this. And also, some of the ball cut pieces, they're not in the original order. I mean, originally, it would be this one first, then this one, then this one, then this one. But, because of how the legs were designed, kind of was leaning a little back ways. So I had to switch them around. I also had to switch around different colors of ball cups because, well, this is a Christmas-related MOC, and it's one of my goals was to use red, green, and white because those are the major colors for Christmas. And did this. Oh, well, I really did not want to have the same colors be too close to each other, but there were just some instances where I could not avoid that, such as for the upper part, which I might get to in a minute. A good additional color for any Christmas-related MOCs would be silver. Silver could also be a representative for snow. White and silver can both represent snow. And also by the fact that these Toa Nuva chest armor pieces are not available in either red, green, or white. So silver was the most compatible color that these pieces existed in. It's not the most compatible color, but any colors that are more compatible with this color scheme, they just simply do not exist. So I just had to use the ones that did exist. Though, a good thing about armor pieces in certain colors would be these armor pieces right here, the shoulder armor pieces. These were, well, these are green ones that I got off of Bricklink, and I'm not quite sure which sets they were supposed to have originally come from. I think they came from the Aki sets that were released about the same time as Bionicle, like in 2004 or 2005, I don't know, I'm pretty sure someone will post the exact year that they were released. So, used a couple of those. I did not originally get them for any specific model, I just got them for the sake of getting them. Now, for the parts of the character that I did not like, and did some improvements on. Well, first of all, I could not use the same weapons that the original Akamai Nuva used because, for one thing, the weapons they used over on this arm were Tahu Nuva's weapons. And I already used one of Tahu Nuva's swords on my Toa Kulis MOC that I did a long time ago, and the other one on my Ardor MOC, hero MOC that I made for the Breakout series last year. Yeah, those two characters are still built. I don't take my MOCs apart. I don't usually take them apart. I take them apart if I don't find any further point in keeping them around. But any ones that I am proud of, I keep around. So, to fix that sort of problem, I use these silver Evokis that originally came from the Makuta set from the Mask of Light series in 2003. And for the Toa Nuva body pieces, well, they were also the original Toa body pieces. Well, I could have used all whites, but there were a couple of reasons why I didn't. For one thing, I already used one of my white Toa body pieces for the staff on my Light Universe Makuta Pterodax MOC that I did using Hero Factory parts. And I showed earlier this year And for another thing, I just thought that it would look better if it wasn't all one color. So I just used a red one for the lower part, and pretty much everything about the lower part of the body is carried over from the original one. And going on to the weapon here, this is a completely custom-made weapon, though it does not hold up very well. And I'll explain why in a couple of minutes. This is a weapon that I made to, actually I think I have it turned the wrong way that I wanted it. No, actually I think it should be this. And, I really don't know which way I prefer. I mean, they both look awkward. I may as well just leave it like this. So I use these rubber hoses on the weapon piece. This is all on one axle piece, all the way from this part all the way down to here. It's all just one axle piece on a staff. But this one is not. This is the 3 long armor piece, which connects from up here to down here. And I also use these red, whatever you're supposed to call these pieces, over on the sides of the weapons. I got these pieces to rebuild my Katie Raw set that was released in 2001. So I needed to get some replacement parts because I did not have those parts anymore because I used them on my other MOCs. So I got a bunch of extra ones just in case I would need them again, and I did use them again. So they're right there. And another thing that you may also notice, which I apparently have not mentioned yet in the video, would be the use of the mask. As many of you remember, this is a HAL Nuva that has a red and green sort of color combination to it. I got this last year. It was a mask that was released in 2003. I don't know where you would have originally got it. I'm not sure if the United States even had this, or if this was an exclusive thing that Lego.com had released along with some of the Bionicle sets that they had released at the time. If you know where you could have originally gotten this mask, you can go ahead and leave a comment. I really would like to know where this sort of mask originally came from. So anyway, I used that, and with the whole red and green thing, it was a good combination, though the green part originally was due to the poison that Dahu got on his mask after fighting Lee Rock from the first Bionicle movie, Bionicle Mask of Light. And so I used that, and I also used a white head with a green eye stalk to also go along with the color scheme. Though I probably could have used a different colored head, like maybe a red one. But then it would get too much close to the color scheme of this mask. I think white is the only possible thing to use. And now, onto the last thing before I close this video up, would be this. You notice how on this back there is this gear here? Well, because of how heavy the weapon was, well, first I used a different sort of weapon, but it was a lot heavier than the one that I used finally. It was just so heavy that the arm was just moving back when I did not want it to. So I put that gear right there so the arm would not move when I didn't want it to. I could have done the same thing over here, but I just couldn't. And besides, it's not really made for a play solution. It's just something that I made for display for Christmas decorations. So that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I think I will try to make more Christmas-related Bionicle MOCs later on, and I also will review some other LEGO sets if I can get them. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again next time.